Hey everybody, I'm Josh with Dara Holsters. Today I'm going to be going over a little bit of my competition gear that we use for matches. If you've been paying attention to our social media at all, you've probably seen us going to different competitions and matches and shooting. The style we like to do is like a two-gun type match with a lot of physical activity involved, lifting heavy things, climbing ropes, running, that kind of stuff. Later in the video, I'll tell you a little bit more about how you can get into that if that's something you're interested in. But for right now, I'm going to start with my rifle and pistol, and then I'll work into some of the other gear that I use. And maybe this video will give you some ideas of things that you can bring with you to the range when you go shoot. So first off is my BCM rifle. This is a 14.5. I use a Surefire suppressor, the RC2. Sometimes I use that mainly for competitions. I'll take that off just because it's added weight. I don't really need it at a range like that. So most of the time this comes off, but the rest of the rifle is pretty well stock. I do have an upgraded LaRue trigger in this and the Phase 5 bolt release. So it's kind of like the bad lever, but it replaces the entire bolt release all in one piece. It doesn't just bolt onto the side. On top of that, I have my Vortex Razor Gen 3. This is the 1-10. The Gen 3 is the 1-10 version. When I was shooting with just a red dot and a magnifier, I found that I was having a difficult time shooting out past 200 yards. I could hit beyond it, but it was becoming a bit more difficult, especially when you add in the physical element of these matches that we do. So running around, carrying heavy stuff, you end up breathing pretty heavy. So trying to get accurate shots way out there with just a red dot and a 3x magnifier became kind of difficult. So that's when I upgraded to the 1-10 Vortex. Other than that, the rest of the rifle is completely stock. I do have a Ferro Slingster sling that I use. Up front as well, I don't like the QDs up front. So what I've had happen before is a lot of these matches, when you're running, you're allowed to sling the rifle on your back. What I've had happen is rifle slung on the back, and as I'm running, it'll knock that QD loose. I've had my rifle fall once or twice before. Now, when we're running like that, the rifle is unloaded, so it's not a match or a stage DQ or anything, but now I've got to pick up my rifle and either fix my sling or carry it in a hand while I'm doing something else. So I switched to the mag pull. It's kind of like a little ring. I'll show you here. So it looks like just like a little solid ring, and it bolts right to the M-lock. And then I use the Blue Force gear sling attachment at the end. This way there's no chance of this ever coming off. I still use a QD in the back because the QD is a little bit more protected by the sides of the buttstock from being accidentally released. I haven't had any problems with the rear one coming loose, but that's pretty much it for my rifle. So next I'll move on to my pistol. So with this, I run a Dara Level 2 holster. You can find this on our website. The matches that we run, like I said, there's a lot of physical activity involved, and sometimes you'll holster a hot pistol. If you lose your pistol on a stage while it's hot, that is typically an automatic total match DQ. So level 2 is pretty much mandatory for those types of matches. But I run mine in multicam, just matches some of the rest of my gear. I also run the ALQD mount on this. So this is the ALQD mount, and I'll show you the ALQD receiver on my belt here in a minute. That's the holster that I typically run. I do have other holsters that I'll run, like an action sport type holster, which I'll show you here. So this is another holster from us, again in multicam with the ALQD, so I can swap these anytime I need to. If I'm running just a typical two-gun type match with not really a lot of physical activity, or a three-gun type match where you're not moving a bunch of heavy stuff, I can run this. So it's a little bit quicker on the draw. You can see the difference between these two. This one with the hood will keep it secure, but it's also a lot higher right here. So I have to clear not only the holster, but the hood when I draw. Where this one, it's cut all the way down to the ejection port, which is legal for USPSA and those types of matches. But now when I draw, I just get a few extra seconds by not having to clear the hood and everything else. So this is the other type of holster I'll run, but these are my main two. This one typically most of the time. As for the pistol, this is a stock Sig P320 AXG, the AXG Pro actually, so the Pro has the slide cuts in here. I haven't done anything to this at all. It's completely stock, and I do have the Sig Romeo Pro 1 optic on top. No issues with this. I have the little metal guard that comes with it. I like it. Everything works really well. It comes with the flared magwell for quick reloads, but this is my go-to pistol, and it works very well for all the competitions that I do. So for magazines, I carry plenty of magazines for a typical match, and what I carry them in is this bag. So this is from Alpin Design Works. It's just their little ammo bag. It unzips right in the middle here. What I can do is I can store 5 full rifle mags on this side, regular 30-round mags. I could also store an additional 2 30-round mags on this side for my rifle and 6 pistol mags. Most of the matches I run, this is enough ammo to complete an entire match. Occasionally I'll have to reload a pistol mag or 2, but most of the time this is enough, and this is from Alpin Design Works. They're a little pricey, but I think they're well worth it. That way I don't have to lug around boxes or bags or keeping having to reload mags all the time. So the next thing I'll go into is a little bit of my kit. So plate carrier and belt are typically required for most of the matches that we shoot. So I'll go into a little bit of that. So for my belt, this is a core belt. We sell these on our website. They come in a bunch of different colors. They got black, brown, green, and multicam. I like this. So this is the battle belt specifically. So if you're looking for one of these, you can look for the core battle belt. We'll go from the buckle around, or all the way around, and I'll just go through piece by piece. So this is my holster attachment. This is our attachment here. It's a DBL2. This is all aluminum. So we machine these in-house. They're made by us, all made in the USA. And on my DBL2, I have an ALQD receiver. So like I said, on the holsters, I have the ALQD mount. This is the receiver for that mount. To mount a holster, all you have to do is push this button down, slide it in, and clip it forward. There is also a safety latch. So if I click this down, the button cannot be depressed. This holster will never come off of this attachment. Now, flick the safety up, push the button back down, slide it to the rear, and it comes off. Now I can switch between the 2 holsters very easily. Underneath that is the leg strap adapter and the leg strap. I just run a Coyote leg strap. It doesn't really match with any of the rest, but it's just what I had laying around. This is all available on our website. Also, the DBL2 is cant angle adjustable. So on the back here, you loosen these 3 screws, and you can cant the holster forward or reverse up to 30 degrees in either direction. The DBL2 also fits belts from 1.5 all the way up to 2 inches. We also offer a longer version of this if you're looking for something a little bit lower. The DBL2L drops this just a bit lower. There's 2 positions on the L version. So if you like your holster to be a little bit lower to clear body armor or side plates or something like that, that would probably be the option for you. So moving back from that, I just have a Leatherman multi-tool. This is the Leatherman Sidekick. I just use the pouch that came with the Leatherman. It works just fine. I use that quite often. It's got a whole bunch of different stuff, so I'll use it for a range of different things. Moving on from there, I have the Dara tourniquet holder with tourniquet in it. This is the cat tourniquet. We sell these on our website in several different colors, along with Cat 7 tourniquets. I like this one because it has the slot right here for a marker, pen, Sharpie, whatever you want to call it. So you can write down your time if you ever have to use a tourniquet. But these are just Velcro. They'll stick to anything Velcro. They're double-sided, so you can stick it to soft loop or the hook part of the loop. So underneath that, I have the Blue Force Gear Micro Trauma Kit. We sell these on our website, as well as the fill kits that go in them. I have the advanced fill kit in mind, but we have 3 different levels of kits that will go inside for any kind of trauma injuries that you might have. I will also show you something that supplements this trauma kit in a little bit. But this has your basics, the quick clot, MPA, things like that. So moving on from there, this is a prototype of our AR mag carrier, our universal AR mag carrier, or the auto retention mag carrier as we call it. So this is still a prototype. I've been using it for over a year now, but it works really well. I don't have a date on when this will come out. We'll keep you guys posted. Keep an eye on the social media or the website for any updates on this. We've got quite a few requests for it, so it may be sometime next year or so, but I can't give you a for certain date. We're still in the works on it. That is mounted to our quick loop. So the quick loop I use just for this one because I could take it on and off really easily. You'll pop these 2 loops off, open it up, and you could remove this whole thing really fast. So mounted in between the mag carrier and the quick loop is the Flatline Fiber Code dump pouch. This is the ripstop dump pouch. I like this one because it folds up super compact. Also, when it's open, inside there is an elastic band, so you can store magazines or water bottles vertically without them falling over or coming out when you're running. To put that back on, just fold this over, clip it on, fold the 2 tabs back. So after that, I've got my 2 auto retention mag carriers. These 2 mag carriers are on our soon-to-be newest belt attachment. So we have the DBL2 here for mounting holsters. We're coming out with a DBL1. So it's a much shorter holster or mag carrier attachment. This is also made out of aluminum here in our factory. They're also cant angle adjustable, just like the holster, so 30 degrees forward or reverse. I carry just 2 pistol mags because most matches you don't need more than 2, especially when you have 21 round magazines. These are super popular on our website. They come in a multitude of colors: black, brown, green, multicam, black multicam. I think we have Alpine and a few others. So if you're interested, check them out on our website. These are also carry a lifetime warranty, just like all of our other holsters, and they're really great. So that'll do it for my belt. So moving on from my belt, I'll go to my plate carrier. So this is the plate carrier that I use for all competitions. This is a Spiritus Systems LV119. I use the Molly cummerbund on this. I just like the way it works. Inside this, I do use the Jacked Rabbit exercise plates. Most matches that we go to require you to have a minimum weight in your plate carrier. Typically it's 15 pounds. Tactical games is 15 pounds. A lot of the other ones is 15 pounds. These are filled with steel shot. They're flexible this way. They're also slightly flexible this way. I use these because bending down, picking up heavy items and things like that, you don't have a rigid plate there kind of restricting your movement. These are not ballistic whatsoever. I do have a set of ballistic plates that I will run sometimes, but for the athletic type matches, these are my go-to. It gets me up to weight, but also giving me a little bit of flexibility when I'm moving. On the front of this, I just have the elastic 3-mag placard from Spiritus. I typically don't need to carry more than 4 mags, so I'll carry the 1 on my belt and 3 up here if I need them. That's kind of it for my plate carrier. All right. So moving on from that, I'll go into a little bit of my safety equipment. So when you're on the range, you need hearing protection. Suppressors do make it quite a bit quieter, but if you're the only one with suppressor and nobody else has one, you need hearing protection. I use the Sordin Supremes. These work great, the MSA Sordins. I have the gel cups in these, so if you're ever wearing ear pro for extended periods of time, you'll notice you get that pressure around your ears. The gel cups just relieve a little bit of that. You could wear them for just a little bit longer without getting a headache or something like that. So these are my go-to hearing protection. So after protecting your hearing, you need to protect your eyes. So what I use is I have two different pairs here. So these are both Oakley's. So these are the Oakley Flak 2.0s. These have the transition lenses, so I'll use these during the daytime when it's sunny out, get a little bit of sun protection from that. But if it's cloudy out or it's getting a little later in the day, I'll use my clear lenses. These are the det cords. These are both Oakley's. These are the det cord ones. They work great. You need to protect your eyes and your vision. So I keep them in the hard case that it came in, just so they don't get scratched up, because nothing worse than using your safety glasses, but you can't see anything because they're all scratched. Another thing that's in my safety part is a small first aid kit. So this is available now on our website. It's a utility pouch. You can use the pouch for a bunch of different things. You can use it for batteries, you can use it for whatever you like. I use mine for my first aid kit. We also sell the first aid kit fill for this on our website as well. They're available right now. Go over to daraholsters.com and pick one up. They come in black, brown, and multicam. So inside here, this is what I typically reach for on a range day or at a match. Somebody cuts their hand or their finger, or they burn themselves on a hot suppressor, or somebody's got a headache or something like that. Inside this kit, and you'll find it on the website, we have a lot of the minor wound stuff. So we have Band-Aids, burn cream, AAA antibiotic ointment, we have fingertip bandages, we have antiseptic wipes, things like that. Stuff that you're going to reach for 90% of the time, 99% of the time, I might say. The trauma kit is definitely necessary, especially when you're working around firearms. Accidents have happened before, but most of the time, I'm gonna reach for this. I'm not gonna pull out my IFAK for quick clot if somebody's just got a small cut on their finger or a small burn or something like that. That would be a waste of that material. Also, if you store these kind of things in your IFAK and you pull your IFAK out, now you've got to fumble with all this other stuff and then pack it back in there. These are super great. If you don't have a small first aid kit in your range stuff, I would highly recommend this one. So some other things that I take to the range with me every single time I go is a tool kit. So this tool kit, this box I buy at Harbor Freight. They're pretty cheap. It's a waterproof container. Basically, I just need to hold all my stuff. So in here, I have a bunch of different tools to work on any of my gear. I also have spare parts for everything. I have spare parts to my rifle and spare parts for my pistol. So if anything happened, say I was out of state at a match and it's like a 2-day event and something happens to my rifle and I can't use it anymore, I have spare parts in here. Everything besides an upper and a lower I have inside this box. So I can repair my rifle or help someone out. Maybe their rifle went down and they just need a small piece. I have everything in here to fix a typical AR and my pistol. So that's one thing I never go to the range without. After that would be a battery box. So I have batteries in here for both of my optics or any of my optics. I have batteries for night vision. I have batteries for anything else. I have 9-volt batteries for shot timers, stuff like that. AA's, AAA's. So I keep a bunch of batteries that I use plus batteries that I don't even have stuff for anymore, but I keep them in case someone needs them. If you're on the range with your friend and the shot timer battery dies and it's a 9-volt, he doesn't have one, you don't have one, your range day is kind of over. Not over, but you can't train how you were going to with the shot timer. So batteries are definitely, I would call, an essential part of my range kit. After that, I have a cleaning kit. So this cleaning kit has everything I need to clean my rifle and pistol. It has lubricant, it has wipes, it has all the other brushes and everything like that. I keep my rifle and my pistol pretty clean, but if there was ever a time where I forgot to clean it and I'm starting to get a lot of malfunctions, I can take the bolt out, wipe it down, lube it up, put it back in, and I should be good to go. So a cleaning kit is definitely a necessity to have. Another good thing to have on the range, especially at competitions, is a pasting gun. This is not a necessity. This would be, I would call this a luxury to have. They're not that expensive, but they are about $70, $80, and then you have the pasters that go with it. This makes pasting targets incredibly quick, especially when they're long paper stages, a lot of paper to shoot, a lot of holes in them, and you have to reset for the next guy. This goes very quickly, so you just pull it once, slap down a paster onto the target, and then away you go. So these are definitely a useful thing to have. So some other things I have in the top of my box, and I'll talk about my box a little bit here that I use. This is a Husky brand box that I got from Home Depot. I've modified it a little bit to carry all of my gear, but everything here goes inside this box and I take it everywhere I go. So that way, if I ever need to go to the range, I grab one box. Everything, all my gear and my ammo is in this box, so I don't forget anything. So I used to not do that. I used to have a couple different bags and I'd always end up forgetting something. So this is definitely a great addition to my kit. But in the top of this box, I've modified it a little bit. I've got extra parts, extra slings, tools, bipod, an entire optic, a red dot and a magnifier. I've got extra mag carriers. And another thing I didn't talk about yet is shooting some of these matches. You'll go out to distance sometimes. A lot of times they'll have the ranges for you, the distance to those targets. Sometimes they won't. Or sometimes their ranges are an estimate and not very accurate. So this is something I bring with me everywhere also. This is a Vortex Diamondback HD rangefinder. So this is the HD 2000, so it'll range out to 2,000 meters or 2,000 yards actually. But I can use this to range targets so I know what my holds are on my rifle. Another great thing to have. So another thing I keep with me is a notepad and a pen or a pencil. So if you're on a stage and you're ranging out targets, it's useful to write them down. So that way you can go back, plan your stage, and then know what your holds are gonna be for each target out there. So a little bit more back into the box. I also have an extra placard if I need it that'll hold 6 magazines. But that's kind of it for the box and for my gear. So if you've watched our YouTube and our Instagram and you see us competing at these matches and this looks like fun to you and you want to get in on it and do some stuff like that, a great way to find those is Practice Score. So if you go onto the Practice Score website, you can look for matches in your local area. Start going to them, even if they're simple pistol USPSA matches at an indoor range. When you go to these matches, you'll end up meeting a lot of people, and that's how I've met a lot of people that I shoot with now, is going to these matches and making friends, and maybe they know of a match that you haven't heard of before or something that's coming up. That's a great insight into the shooting community in your area. You can also go and train with these people. So getting into that community of shooting sports, 3-gun, 2-gun, things like that, it's great. Those people can help you advance in your skills, and maybe you're really good and you can help them advance. So it's all about building a community of people that can go out and have a hobby, a shared hobby together, and also enjoy this. But hopefully a little bit of my kit breakdown, maybe gave you some ideas of things to use, some gear maybe you haven't seen before, or some gear that you already have. If you already have it, you can comment down below and say how much you like it, or if there's something I'm missing out of my kit that you use all the time, I'd really love to hear from you. So go ahead and leave a comment on what that is, something that can improve my gear or improve my range day. But that'll be it for now. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us at support@daraholsters.com. And that'll be it. Thanks for watching.